7 to 8 years. 7 to 8 years I have been a part of this community, and for 7 to 8 years I have held my tongue because I used to think I did not have a voice in YouTube to where anyone would pay attention to me and what I've got to say. I have made streams sometimes, I've even talked to myself as if I've got people listening, and quite frankly, I think it's time I really do speak the truth about Call of Duty. Now, I'm going to hit you hard with things that you may or may not accept, things that you may or may not agree with. But I'm going to start things off hard, okay? So take a deep breath and bear with this. Black Ops 2 is overpraised. Notice how you're probably already mad at me for what I'm saying. I didn't even insult the game. I just said it's overpraised. It gets way too much praise for very little it offers. Looking at it as a modern eye view of this, it wouldn't be something I would spend over $130 for the console for, and then whatever the game is with, or a bundle where I get the game 1 and 2 of Black Ops, and then the system itself. That's not really worth it. For me being able to get 1,000 ending campaign, yeah, sure, maybe the campaign itself is the golden age of Call of Duty campaigns, but Black Ops 2 as a whole is not the golden age of Call of Duty. It's really not. In fact, that's Cold War, and I'll explain later. But Black Ops 2 zombies and multiplayer, I'm going to hurt you with this, but it's all nostalgia. That's it. Back when Black Ops 2 was in its prime, do you know why you people weren't crying SBMM or it wasn't so strong? Even though the devs have confirmed that SBMM does exist in Black Ops 2's multiplayer. Do you know why? That's because you people weren't tryharding as if you're the next big thing on Twitch. That's because you were not acting as if someone was going to, baseball bat your dog. Or they were going to, 5-finger death punch your grandma. Okay? Like, back then, you people were just trying to get cool clips, funny clips where you did random shit. From noob tubes to, ninja diffuses to, fucking trapping people with riot shields. Okay? You people didn't care back then about your KD ratio and how many kills you averaged a game. You cared about just doing stupid fun things. And that's why you think Black Ops 2's multiplayer is golden. Because back then, it was all about fun. That's why whenever I replay Modern Warfare Remastered, I don't go and really play standard multiplayer that much. I play the mini games, whether it's Slasher, about to Slaughter, or Prop Hunt. I just play mini games and level up and try to get that fucking title Karambit. But that's the thing, is back then in Black Ops 2's multiplayer, that is why you think it's the best. When in reality, that's the community being its best it's ever been. Think about it. How can a multiplayer be so good if no one plays it? That's like saying, well, how does someone buy an iPhone? Well, for starters, they gotta be some moron that drinks Starbucks all day and, just bought the, newest iPhone literally 2 months ago, and now they're releasing the next generation of it. They're a moron. Okay? So, for Black Ops 2's multiplayer, you're just holding it on a high pedestal because that's how you remember playing. You remember everyone having fun. Not everyone trying to be the next big deal. Sure, there was maybe a couple lobbies, I will admit this, where maybe there was 1 or 2, maybe even 3 people tryharding to the best of their benefit because they wanted to be the next FaZe Clan member. They wanted that next contract so that they could have a big name. I will admit that. But overall, multiplayer for Black Ops 2 wasn't peak because it was just that good or there was no SBMM. It was fun because people didn't care about KD ratios anymore. Zombies. Let me explain this. Zombies, for what it offers, sure, it may have a great storyline if I were to dive into it. If I cared for lore, but I don't. I don't. Now, I could also go based off boss fights if I chose to look into it. I may do that. But overall, the zombies compared towards a game like Infinite Warfare, not even Cold War, to a game like Infinite Warfare, Black Ops 2 Zombies doesn't really offer much. Sure, you can argue Mustang and Sally, but we have Fire and Brimstone in Infinite Warfare. And honestly, I like Fire and Brimstone more. It sounds cool. And here's another thing. Sure, you have the whole bank stash thing that goes on from every match. Do I think that's a feature that should return in some zombie games? Yes. But overall, the zombies there is just nostalgia. There's really not much it offers. You could go based off story. Okay, well then I could argue the same thing for Infinite Warfare, or Cold War, or even Vanguard's story, or fucking God forbid, Black Ops 4. Like, hell, I could even argue freaking Extinction's story. But that's different, I would suppose. The thing is, though, is with Black Ops 2 Zombies, it doesn't hold a candle to a modern setting. When you're just starting with a pistol, and you're doing the same old routine of start with a pistol, spam the box, shoot this zombie's big toe 443,666 times, so you can get enough points to open up the entire map on round 1. Spam the box some more till you get ray gun, and then maybe double pack or single pack the fucking pistol that you started with, so you have Mustang and Sally. Congratulations. You did the same thing you've been doing for the last 300 fucking times you played the zombies mode. Nothing's changed. So, comparing everything Black Ops 2 offers, is it a great COD? Yes. Actually, every COD is, if you're willing to be mature enough and have that talk. But a lot of you people aren't mature enough for these conversations. That's why you get so mad at me for what I said. So, comparing Black Ops 2 towards a game like Infinite Warfare, where, you know, maybe I could, for instance, reference the story. From what little bit of the lore I kind of picked up on, or I could rather just guess, you're basically an actor or aspiring actor, like all the other actors or aspiring actors who have been sacrificed to Willard Wyler's films. Okay? Short, simple, sweet. That's not the limit to my knowledge of it. So you fight your way out, you do these impossible tasks. It's great. And in doing so, you get rewarded with the best rewards in zombies history. Not knowledge of why you're there, but something that matters more. You got perma perks and 25k starting cash. That's for every map. That is amazing. That's amazing. It really is. Now, with that being said, I want to get to Vanguard. Vanguard would have been very, very great if it would have followed Cold War's success. Please let me explain. If it would have followed Cold War's success, where it did a nod towards Black Ops 3 and had multiple endings to a campaign, that would have been nice. That's what I loved about Cold War's campaign so much, was finding out that I had choices, that there was things that if I did them, I impacted the story. Okay? That's cool. It's a nice nod towards a fan-loved game. And the zombies, however, if Vanguard would have followed what Cold War did and why everyone loved Cold War's zombies, it would have also succeeded. At least just enough to hold itself out. First off, I'm not going to try to compare its campaign. The campaign was bittersweet. It was like drinking an entire packet of sweet and sour sauce. Sure, it's sweet at first, you take little sips, but eventually if you just take too much, you get citrusy sweet flavors, and it's a weird Now, Vanguard Zombies, for them trying to really push this round-based, objective-based zombies experience, if they would have done what Cold War did like they did Onslaught, I think it would have worked. Have some lore stuck behind it. That way it gives incentive to play it. Certain boss fights even. Okay? You could have added normal or even the same maps just for standard round base to high round. But if you wanted to do the Easter eggs and understand the lore, you did the objective based, which increased in difficulty. I think that would have been fair. Now you can barter with me if you want, and I may or may not like your comment on the idea. I don't know. But Vanguard could have really worked if it also did one extra thing. And this is something I've said to a lot of people. Now bear with me on this, because it's a bit of a reach. But could you imagine they had World War II style outbreak? Bear with me on this, right? We may have not gotten the Black Ops 2 Transit and Cold War's outbreak. But could you imagine you got like an Origins style World War II outbreak map for Vanguard? Where you did have to use the tank for certain locations. And maybe even a little Easter egg to it where you did have to repower the generators to have Pack-a-Punch accessible. And depending on, how long it takes you to get back to that map is how many generators go off. So like if it took you one map before you came back to that map, one generator, and so on and so forth. I really think that would have helped get Vanguard appreciation. But we didn't do that. Instead, we hate bombed it, and we realized hate bombing works. Now, yes, was the hate valid? Not really. You could have definitely made your opinions known and be like, yo, this really, really sucks. Can you do a standard round base but also keep what you're wanting here? Can you do this? Can you do that? Unfortunately, the community didn't see it that way, and they continued to hate bomb and just belittle the game, which is fine. For what Vanguard is as of right now, I can let it go. But here's where things get tricky. Modern Warfare Zombies. I'm sorry, but it would have been amazing. First off, I do agree that the whole schematic timer thing back in its early days, that was shit. I'm sorry, it is true to a lot of you people who die hard for MWZ, including really myself, it was shit. However, okay, bear with me on this, okay, if first off we had additional maps on launch, like maybe the default map we have, and then maybe just some other map like Akoshi Island, whatever the fucking map was, that would have been great. But we didn't. So, oh well. I think MWZ died the moment Season 1 started. And it's not because MWZ was bad, but more so the community is at fault. Please bear with me on this. I do agree that the timer thing sucks. Mass multiplayer in such an open world and no being able to have your own private lobby with just your friends sucks. Schematic things suck. But you also have to be mature enough to understand that you're playing an open world zombies with other players. It's got to happen. You should not be allowed to load in with a ray gun or a Wunderwaffe every lobby, because then you're just going to sit there in a T3 as a 6-man squad, have one person camping one contract, and then another friend goes to another contract, so on and so forth, and no one will really be able to do that type of stuff. Okay? Modern Warfare Zombies died Season 1, before even Reloaded activated, because people were already rushing through everything they had, which is why I'm very patient with Black Ops 6. Let me show you what I'm doing in Black Ops 6. In Black Ops 6, I am doing a challenge for myself where for every prestige, I do one set, and I'm talking one whole weapon class, and I got to get them to their, what is the camo? I gotta get them to Opal. I have no choice. I can't just stop at gold and call it good. I have to get every assault rifle to Opal. And I can only prestige once per season. Okay? Now, technically, I could prestige past this and go to prestige 2 and start being able to do SMGs because I started leveling up before Season 1 started. But I'm not going to. Now, that's what a lot of you people should have done. But you did not do that. Instead, you just rushed through every assault rifle and basically every weapon in the entire game by spamming exfil all day, every day, 24/7. And then you wonder why you're bored. You don't have anything to work towards anymore because you rushed through it all. That is something I have seen so many times and times again, where it's like I've maxed out all the weapons and got all their camos before Season 2. And I've done all of the story quests. The game's bad. There's nothing else to do. Well, yeah, that's your fault. It's not the game's fault. They gave you actually plenty to do, and you did it all like a cocaine addict. And that's where I get upset the most, is people blame the game for what it is when it wasn't the game's fault. And then Season 2 would have been a nice refresher. And you people just keep doing what you do. And this is where I have to hold the community accountable. The community decided, well, we talked shit about Vanguard. Maybe we could talk shit about this game so we could just move on. You people didn't go and vouch, hey, can we please get a new map? Hey, this is bad. Can you please fix this? You guys didn't offer criticism anymore. You just hate bombed because it worked on Vanguard. Granted, it only worked at the end, but you still did it. So you, in your own twisted mind, went, you know what? We do it now, it'll work. And that's why Modern Warfare Zombies didn't get a new map. That's why we barely got any new perks, if any at all, to my memory. That's why we didn't get anything, really. It's just the same old thing every time you run it. We could have had round-based zombies if you would have asked nicely, because it was hinted that we would. But unfortunately, we didn't get it, and I wonder why. When you go to a restaurant, for instance, I'm going to use the Terrorizer story for this real quick. He got sick and tired of ungrateful customers. Now, I don't remember to a T the story, but I think he might have pit-patted someone's subby sandwich. You know, the good old South Park booger and cheese, or maybe he just did the spit on your onion rings type of deal. I don't know. I don't remember the story at full. But I digress. If you come in and constantly keep being a rude asshole, I'm going to refuse your service. I'm going to refuse your request. I don't need you. You need me. And I know that sounds strange for a company, which a company does need its customers, but so does everything. Gas stations need customers, but gas stations also need workers. And unfortunately to the customer, the workers have feelings too. And the workers actually reign priority over the customer, truly. If you're going to sit there and basically verbally assault the worker, the workers have every right to just deny what you request. And that's what happened with MWZ. MWZ failed because every season it was nothing but hate and vitriol and venom. There was no criticism. There was no trying to help build up the game. It was always trying to tear it down. And that's what recently kind of caught my eye when Milo made a video talking about how he doesn't like operators. But yet, it's funny that he uses the logic of operators in the cutscenes having absolutely a big impact on the story because they don't speak and how he doesn't like them, but yet it's kind of hypocritical he plays Elden Ring. Yes, fun fact everyone, Milo uploaded videos of him playing Elden Ring. There's literal videos of it. And what's really sad about that is it's a Souls game. Your character in all Souls games except maybe Sekiro or Dark Souls 3, I don't own those two yet. You don't say a word. Not in Dark Souls 1, not in Dark Souls 2, not in Bloodborne, not in Elden Ring. But yet, Elden Ring's story, just like what Cold War is, the story's around you. It's built and adapted around you playing as that character. Your character's not that significant where it needs voice lines. It's your actions. And that's why Cold War is so successful, that they didn't need operators. Operators are there for people like me who want to look cool, which is why Black Ops 6 is such a cool thing to me. It's everything I wanted back in Black Ops 3. I don't care about lore. I don't. If you're someone who wants to play as Maya, I personally call her Mayo, or Gray, Weaver, Carver, you can. But do not get mad at me because I like playing as Goliath. And this is where things will definitely get interesting. Can you imagine playing a public lobby COD, and if you were host, you could just pick and choose who you want to kick? Because could you imagine you see someone playing as Carver, Weaver, Gray, and then you see someone running around as Brutus? That's going to be upsetting when Brutus gets kicked just for being Brutus. They may like this character. They may think it's cool. And they get kicked because it's an operator? That raises a lot of problems. That is why the war of operators versus set crew are so dangerous. That is why when people cry about loadouts, it's so dangerous. Because it gets worse and worse as it goes. Which is why MWZ, like I said, failed. The community was at fault. And they continue to be at fault. And sure, I've caught wind of this premium black cell bullcrap that they're trying to pull, and you know, whether I get it or I don't care. I'm gonna get the next black cell anyway. Why? Because I like zombies. I did not pay a single dime during Modern Warfare 22's life cycle because there was no real true way to enjoy playing the game while getting XP just enough to get a tier or two and go, I'm gonna run it again because I had fun. And that's why those Call of Duties are regarded as the worst. And it takes a really mature mindset to speak like this because, yes, MWZ was a PhD flopper. It sucked. It really did need a quick revive. But if the community would have been that extra guiding hand instead of the fucking destroyer of it, we may have had an amazing open world zombies experience. There's gonna come a time in the future of Call of Duty Zombies where we may get an outbreak map, but it's got wall buys or the blockades where you have to spend money and buy those doors. Basically doors. Could you imagine that? That'd be kind of interesting, where there's outbreak, where it's just outbreak, and you got outbreak round based. That would be fucking cool, because you open and unlock more and more of the map while getting decent chunks of said map. Imagine the entire MWZ map, but there's doors you gotta buy. So if you want to get to that tier 2 pack, you gotta keep doing contracts in your tier 1 zone or the tier 2 zone. That sounds really great to me. It does. But that's why Modern Warfare Zombies failed. That's why Vanguard failed. That's why Black Ops 2 is overpraised. Again, that's not a bad thing. It's just comparing it to a modern COD, even to a game like Vanguard, doesn't hold much light because even a game like Vanguard has more to offer. Now, nostalgia. I do get it. I get it. I was depressed when I first got Spyro Reignited. That was part of my childhood. I had been a gamer since the age of 4. And at the age of 4, growing up, I carried around the original PSX with Spyro 2, Rip Tor's Rage, Rock'em Sock'em Robots Arena, The Amazing Spider-Man, the original double disc feature of Metal Gear Solid, and the original double disc feature of Alone in the Dark. And of course, Twisted Metal, but that's kind of a given for childhoods, probably. I carried those around in a baby vomit puke green diaper bag. The console, the cords, 2 analog controllers and 2 non-analog controllers, the games, 3 memory sticks. I carried all of it in that diaper bag from the age of basically 6 when I was first able to start doing that, all the way to 18, where I made a fatal mistake of getting it to someone I thought I could trust, because I had no hope in my game ever coming back. And was I upset when I couldn't play on the original graphics while playing Spyro Reignited? Yes, I was depressed. I was saddened. This was my childhood. This was my nostalgia. This is the memories that made me the awesome person I am today. That made me who I am today. And then I started thinking, why does that change it? It doesn't matter if it's better graphics. Is it the same dragon I knew back when I was 4? Yes. Is it the same Firefly that I knew back when I was 4? Yes. Am I going to be able to make progress a lot deeper down the road with the extensive knowledge as a 4-year-old gamer that I know about that game to a modern setting? Will I make more progress? Yes. So will I have fun? Yes. So I do fully understand that you miss those games. You miss the nostalgia, the feeling of it, which is why you people were returning to it. I get it. But the community holds these older CODs on such an impossible pedestal that it's straight up borderline abuse to the devs at this point, because nothing they do is good enough. So I'm going to end this here. It is very, very, very late for me, as it's 8:19 in the day. I haven't slept yet. I do need sleep. And I'm going to upload this without any edits. I do appreciate you for your time of watching this. Please do share this with everyone if you've made it this far. Share it with your friends, your family, maybe the homeless guy around the corner who just wanted a honey bun. Something. But I do appreciate you for listening to me, and I'm sorry that I may have upset you, but I'm also hoping I opened your eyes to some very sound logic and reasoning. The COD community has hated actually pretty good zombie modes or alternative modes, like round-based aliens in Call of Duty Ghosts. That was fun. I actually enjoyed that. It was kind of semi-slowed down, but also pretty semi-fast-paced. Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. I didn't like the EMP zombies, but I liked the fact that I had a boost rig in zombies. Like, there is so much in every Call of Duty we have that the majority of the community has just straight up borderline abused and taken advantage of, and made the devs go, yeah, we'll never do that again. I want everyone to understand this real quick. It's been 8 years since Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, our very last futuristic title. Do not give me no bullshit about some of the amps/augments you can get in Modern Warfare Zombies. Those don't count. I'm sorry. I'm talking about full-fledged futuristic Call of Duty as a whole. Okay? Thank you. With this being said, my name is DemonBlade198, and I thank you for your time.